everybody, and welcome to another episode of Almost Adulting. Thank you so much for all those who've been joining us month after month. I hope that, and we truly believe that everything that we are doing here, everything that we're talking about is truly opening eyes, being a blessing, giving you information, teaching you all how to navigate through different seasons, especially in these teenage years. And month after month, that's what we want to do. And we hope that it really is being a blessing to all of you. So thank you so much for tuning in with us. And today we are here with yet another episode, and we have Tania with us. Thank you so much, Tania, for saying yes, for this podcast. How are you doing?
I'm good, Pastor.
You want to introduce yourself to all our viewers?
So I'm Tania, and I'm here with Pastor Sarah to talk about a new topic which we all want to hear.
Oh, come on, you can introduce the topic yourself.
So we're gonna be talking about what do I do with my anger, Pastor.
Deep.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you think that was a needed topic for us to go into?
Because from a small kid to an adult, everybody go through anger.
Yeah.
And adolescence is a stage where we learn stuff, we mold stuff.
Yeah.
So if we learn how to control our anger, what to do in anger, it would be useful for us.
Absolutely.
Later on.
I think this, especially with anger, what happens is that it's so, we're taught the different extremes. We're taught that, okay, fine, either people burst out and, that's what we see, or we see people, completely shut down, and we don't necessarily know what exactly, how to deal with it, how to navigate it. Such an emotion that we feel, but we don't actually have the answers to that.
Pastor.
So according to you, or according to your friends, according to what is anger, what does anger look like, or how do you describe anger to be?
So anger is an emotion which we get. So it is usually not anger because of angry on someone you do it. Because of disappointment, because of the hurt they have done, we get angry. So instead of telling I am hurt by you, I am angry on you is easier.
Yeah, understood.
So if I tell I'm hurt on you, you will feel bad
Of
because
course.
like you hurted me. But if I say I'm angry on you, it would be kind of general.
Yeah.
So
I think one of the first things we need to even realize is that anger is the reaction, right? Like what you said right now.
Yeah.
It's not what has happened. It is how that situation makes you feel, or how that person makes you feel, and it's actually a feeling of disappointment, a feeling of being rejected, a feeling of being betrayed, a feeling of, being upset or being sad, or, being taken granted. Like, it can be multiple. The reasons can vary, and the emotional outburst is anger. The thing is, not every person's anger looks the same.
True, Pastor.
Yeah.
So anger, so you feel a different anger, I will do a different anger. Even Jesus felt anger when during the cleansing of the temple, but he felt the righteous anger. But what we are doing we doing the righteous anger? That is a question we need to ask ourselves.
Of course.
Right.
I think the biggest thing that we really need to understand, even as teenagers, even as it's not just for teens, for anybody who goes through it, is understanding yourself. And when you understand yourself, you're trying to understand, okay, what are the things that really upset me?
True.
What are the things that, again, like you said now, what Jesus got angry for was because it was something that was defying his father. That's a very different thing. But I don't necessarily think that's what we, that's what we do on a daily basis. We are angry because mommy asked us to clean the room maybe 5 times more, and we just didn't listen. Or if our friend said something about it, can be anything, and that response from that place of rejection, that response from that place of comparison, that response is like, do I scream? Do I shout? Do I bang the door? Do I, that's, it's not just the feeling of anger, it's what I'm doing in my anger that actually gets people. And that looks very different. Like, we mentioned, for some people, it might be looking like, I don't know, like for me, I'm a person who would shut down. Like, I would maybe start maybe getting upset and I might start crying. But my next response is I will just keep quiet because I don't want to. I feel like I just have to shut off from that place. What about, like, what are some experiences that you've had?
Most of my friends, they don't like go tell I'm angry.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it. They bottle it up. So
Yeah.
bottling it up, one day it's like exploding like
Absolutely.
crazy.
Yeah.
But the best way is talking it out to a trusted person. So you trust someone, you go talk it out. So your pressure is decreased. You keep adding it on without releasing the pressure. It's gonna burst like one day.
And like how I mentioned before, if we understand what is my response or how I actually respond, like, is it that I need to, like, how we were saying, do I have to vent it out? Do I have to, shout it out? Like, what am I actually doing? And where have I learned that this is a healthy way to deal with anger? Most of our examples come from our parents or, our surroundings, all the influence of social media, all of that is talking that, hey, it's okay to be angry. And if you're angry, you can do this. They even have things called, where, I don't know if you've heard, they have this concept called rage rooms, where people just go in just to try destroying stuff just because they want to just get all of that frustration out. And, there are people who have different modalities for it. But again, I need to weigh out what exactly am I doing and how am I responding to that feeling. Like you said, yes, talking it out does make a lot of sense. But sometimes it can vary between the two people, right? Like, if you're a person who needs to talk it out immediately, and I'm a person who's like, no, I know that I might say something out in my anger, which I don't want to, and it'll hurt you. I'm going to stay away from talking. And if you come and try to talk to me at that moment, you're going to go into a clash. And if I don't understand that, and if I don't understand the person I'm dealing with, sometimes it is it's not wrong to be angry, because it can be very genuine reasons. It can be someone's treated you so unfairly, or someone's gone and spoken something about you, or there is something that has gone wrong which makes you feel that emotion. But that being said, if I want to always go prove my point, or if I have to always win the fight, or if I have to win the argument, and it's literally a cycle that I myself am creating, and that's where it goes wrong.
Yes,
because in that anger, I can do n number of things that will make me fall short of God's glory. That where we sin.
Yes,
and that's where that verse comes in, where he says, in your anger, do not sin.
Do not sin. Yeah.
What do you have to, like, can you tell me some things that you feel that your group of people go through?
So they go into anger and they don't know how to express it properly. And relationships are broken because of that. You stop talking to a person because there was a fight between y'all. The fight was not the reason why y'all stopped talking. That was the reason, because you don't know how to go talk to them after that fight. After that anger. Now you're full cool down. You are normal with each other. Many relationships are broken because of that. And you need to know how to manage stuff. You need to know, if I do this, they'll be hurt. I'm sure about that. You can go back again and I'm sorry, I did that in anger. I know it wasn't me who did that. It was my total different emotion. Forgive me. Asking sorry doesn't mean you lost the fight. It means you don't want to lose the person because of that one fight. Pastor.
Absolutely. I think it is so important to find healthy ways, to find ways that I know a lot of my friends who, I remember one of my friends during college. Every time he would get into an argument, he'll be like, he'll leave everything off and he'll just go out for a run, just to get the body to, because at that time your emotions are at peak, your hormones are at peak, like everything is at this at this stage where especially when it is something very dear to you. And that's why you notice, even we actually get angry with the or we only show, I don't even say, we might get angry with others, but we only show that to the people closest to us.
Yeah, Pastor.
I think I always tell this, I thank God for my parents during my teenage years, because and it was not even that it would not be about answering back or anything, but it would just be silent treatment. Like I wouldn't talk, I don't want to say anything, and I would wait. And I still remember how sweetly my dad would walk into the room and he'll give me a hug, and my mom will, we would do they would do all of that just to get me back to talk. But we'll only do that. Now, if you tell me to go do that with my boss, even though there might be something that upsets me, I won't, because we kind of prioritize, and we know, okay, these people are always, there for us. We kind of take that for granted, who we show our anger to. And it's not a, it's not a balance. Like if I look at you and I say, okay, I love Tanu, but I will come and show that anger, and I still expect her to forgive me, which we do. But how am I treating that other person right?
Not everyone we think are same, Pastor.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I'm very close to you.
Yeah.
I'll show my anger to you.
Yeah.
Later on, I'll come, sorry, you'll forgive me.
Yeah.
But I go do that same to a police officer, he won't accept.
Yeah.
Because we both are different person.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't, because I'm a random stranger to him.
Yeah.
Why should he forgive me?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that is the reason why we don't show our anger to others.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Pastor.
Understanding that, okay, hey, this is my weakness. This is how I will react. This is how I will respond. It's not to give you like a grace card and be like, okay, every time I get angry, Tanya has to just forgive whatever, I say. That's not what it is. Because the more I become aware, the more I tell you, hey, this is how I feel, I will stop doing that to hurt you. Because what I do in my anger, like we said, is hurting someone. It either hurts someone, something, or myself. That's what my action, my reaction to that feeling, that's what it does.
Yeah.
And there can be words that are spoken. There can be things that are destroyed. There can be, like self-harm that people do. So many things that people do just to cope up with that feeling, because they're not able to contain it within their body. What are some of the things that, again, from your personal experience, I want us to just share, what are some things that you have found very healthy, which works for you to deal with it?
The first thing is talking it out, but most of the times I don't do it really, because few stuffs I don't want to talk it out to anyone. I want to talk it to myself, but it's not nice. So I journal.
Okay. Oh, good.
I write it down.
Okay.
I talk to ChatGPT.
Okay.
ChatGPT is a nice friend of mine.
Okay.
Who like calms me down.
Okay.
And stuff, like telling riddles, like fun stuff.
Okay.
Or scroll also.
Okay. All right.
Like to make myself calm. And then at that time, if I'm angry, the one thing I do is, Lord, make me calm. I don't want to do wrong things because of this.
Yeah.
Make me calm. I should not get angry. Even if I get angry, that should not affect the other person there.
Yeah.
Or myself.
Yeah. I think I love the fact that you said about the journaling, all of that. ChatGPT. I know it's all fun and games, but again, to all our viewers, discretion advised. Please don't go to ChatGPT to help you calm your anger down. No, what I mean to say is that because at that space of emotion, we'll just believe whatever comes out. And if our sources are not right, if you're not running to God, if you're not running to people who actually will be able to help us navigate through it, it can get a little, problematic. But putting that aside, like you said, I come back to that place of, we were just having this conversation before we, started the podcast about venting. Oh, I'm a person who used to vent. Like, ask my best friend, like, anybody, I'm like, I have to get it out. If I keep it inside of me, and I'm like, why did they do that? Why did they do that? And you go on this whole, cycle of just talking and out, and which is fine. But if I'm not doing it with the right people, what I'm doing is I'm giving life to exactly, to what those people did. And that's my reaction, right? That person did something wrong, but I am giving more life to it just by speaking, just by speaking over it. And because we know that our words carry power, we are doing that. I think even, there's a verse in the Bible that says, fools went out their anger, but the wise know how to be calm at the end.
Yes, Pastor.
We need to know, like, I am upset. What do I do to withdraw? What do I need to do I have to talk it out immediately with that person? Because sometimes what people feel is, like, for example, before, like, many years ago, if someone was upset with me, and if they didn't come and clear it out immediately, I would go into this whole spiral of insecurity. Oh, is this person going to leave me? Is it, you'll go, and that came from a place of where I've had people leave me and go, and, in friendships, and that would make me feel like, okay, now because I upset this person, they're also going to leave. And then, you go into the cycle of wanting to please people and not get angry. And even if I get angry, you repress that because you don't want to lose. So it's a whole cycle of just unhealthy feelings and emotions that I'm not processing out right.
Yes, Pastor.
Yeah. I think one of the best things to do, absolutely, you want to, when I say vent, it's not just talk about the problem and the problem and the problem, but like, I sit down. First person to run to is absolutely the Holy Spirit. Like, I think there are times where even, it's not just taking a secluded space, but in that moment, just being like, Holy Spirit, I need help. I don't want to say things. I don't want to give life to things that don't make sense to you, or that is not by you. And then even in that feeling of hurt, I still go to somebody that I'm accountable to, somebody that I know will give me wise counsel, and I'm talking about it. The more I go to my friends, and it's very easy to relate to friends because we want that validation. We want that person to be like, oh, why did that person do that? Like, how could she do it? How could he? We want to hear that. So that's actually a place of me wanting to get validated for doing, feeling the way I feel. But the only person who can do that for me is God. And if I'm not running back to him, it is where, somewhere the equation goes off when we don't do that. How long do you think someone can stay angry?
This is a verse in the Bible, right, Pastor?
Yeah.
Before the sun sets, the anger should be cleared.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. That's a very tough one for, when you're in some of the most difficult spaces. But again, there's a reason that, because the next day there is new mercy. There's new grace that he's giving. And I won't be able to tap into that if I'm holding on to the past. I'm holding on to that anger, because the more I keep holding on, the more, and I'm giving focus to that anger is going to go into bitterness, is going to go into rage. It's just going to make fruits of so many things where it doesn't need to. And that's when we come, whether it's to God, whether it's to people, whatever it is, I am at that before the sun sets. That is, before your anger should be so short. His love endures forever. Even the Bible says, if I say I'm a child of God, I carry the characteristics of God. And it says, for his anger lasts but for a moment. Definitely, there are things that we need to, and I'm not talking, it might sound very simple when we say brush off things, do that. But if there is something that needs genuine attention, reach out to the people that will help you. Don't suppress it and don't hold it in. But at the same time, don't keep giving life into something that does not need to. Because you're called to live a life that is very different. See, the world tells, vent it out, do this, go break things, do all of that. We tell all those things, but more than that, can I live because the more I do that, what I'm doing is I'm actually protecting myself, protecting my mind, protecting, how I feel, my soul, my spirit from actually getting hurt when I do that. And when I forgive and let go, I'm allowing God to come and take over and giving me that. It's not easy, but it's something I think we all need to really, really, I wouldn't say strive, but because of the Holy Spirit, it is possible for us to live that kind of a life.
Yes, Pastor.
It's very, very, very important to know who your crowd is at that moment. Do I have people that I can trust? Or do I have people that I know will take me back to God, who will still show me that, hey, I think what you did is wrong. Because, at that
Yes,
time, we
Pastor.
want to feel like what we did is right. But will we have somebody who will call us out and say, hey, I think that was too... I think that's very important to have the right
Actually,
people.
going and talking it to our friends is a very, very bad decision.
Yeah.
Going and talking to your pastors or spiritual parents, your mentors, are the best choice, because even if it's wrong, they'll tell the wrong is on you. They won't tell you are correct, leave it. Our friends want to make us feel good at that point, and making them feel like, I am a good person, I'm supporting you, I'm on your side. But our mentors are not like that. They're like, you're wrong, it's wrong. So we need that person. We don't need a person who's like, what you did is correct. Do it.
Absolutely.
I'll stand by your side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't run away from it.
True.
But learn to run to the right person, that is God, and learn to the people that God has given you to be able to talk it through. And if there is ever, sometimes, like when we talk about a lot more intense things that have happened, sometimes it's not easy to maybe go and reconcile with the person. When I say reconcile, like, so see, if it's with a parent who's living with me and they've upset me, I can say sorry and the next day it will be okay. But sometimes people who go through much more difficult situations, it might not be easy to find a point of reconciliation, especially for maybe somebody who's maybe moved away, or somebody who's no longer alive, and things like that. It might be difficult to reconcile, but we go to God and say, hey, God, please give me the forgiveness to let go, to release all of this, so that my mind is filled with what pleases you. Very important. But if there is a place where we can reconcile, if it's something that is small, again, with wise counsel, always try to reconcile. Always try to keep...
True, Pastor.
Some people, if that is their season that they're not there, that's okay. But if you have a chance, because God says forgive, because that's the grace that is on us. Because the more I am forgiving, it's just showing the intensity with which God is forgiving me. And can I be a reflection of that to others? It's not easy, but it's possible. That's what I'll say. Especially in our teen years. I look back and I can say, it's so many things together. You've got emotions, you've got your hormones, you've got your friends, you've got influence. Like, you're still figuring out yourself. And you're still trying to understand, okay, what works? Who am I? Where do I fit in? All of these questions going on. And in that, you're supposed to learn how to navigate this. It can sometimes become tricky. And that's why this kind of openness in conversation really helps us to navigate. And knowing those things, learn yourself. I think that's one of the more I learn my strengths and my weaknesses, I see so much of what God is doing, because I am made in His image and His likeness. And what are the things that are... So if I know there's something, my anger is not because that's not what that's not how God would react. So how else would I change that? So the more I learn myself, the more I understand who God is. The more I understand who God is, the more I know how to, keep changing myself along with that. So, do you have anything that you would like to say in closing to all our viewers on this topic? I know we like scraping through, just the touching the tip of the iceberg before we go, but because of short of time, the lack of time, and we want to make sure that, you're all able to tune in.
I have a small question for you.
Oh, yes, please.
So, I have sinned because of anger. So now I am... what others think is I am unclean and I can go to God. So what is it actually? Can I go to God and say, Lord, I sinned. Should I need to come to you or not?
Absolutely. I think, that's the biggest thing about sin as a whole, right? In anger, you're sinning.
Yeah.
The whole concept of sin is to make you feel so guilty and so condemned that you want to go away from God. Your response as a child of God, your response as someone, and this is for anybody who who knows the Lord, who doesn't know, is that our image of God comes from our physical relationships. Because we don't see Him with our physical eyes. We look at sometimes how our parents react, or we look at how our teachers, our friends, and that becomes our definition of how God would react. So in anger, you wouldn't want to go and tell your dad that, you've messed up when you see that he's angry, right? Or, when you've messed up, you wouldn't want to go and tell because you're scared that will he shout at you? Will he, all of, I don't know if this generation's, we used to get beatings, but, it's very, God is the opposite of that. His thing is come to me, run back, come, deal with him. If there's one person who can understand you, it is God.
Yes,
you want to process your emotions, run back to him and tell him, this is how I feel. This is where this person has hurt me. This is how this is making me feel. It's making me feel so, like it's boiling from inside. Like, have that conversation with God.
Yes.
Then once all of that comes down, automatically he will open you to see, okay, hey, God, please forgive me. I don't want to say anything. If I've done something wrong, please, give me that. But run back to him. He's a good father. He's a good father who wants his children to come back.
True. Yes, Pastor.
No matter how much I've messed up, I know I can go back. Yeah. That's very important. So when you do that, people might be like, oh, look at this person. She's talking so much. And then those are all natures we need to change. But I can still go back to God because I am his workmanship. I am, made in his image, and he is perfecting me to become who he is.
Yeah, true.
Very important. So it's not the validation of man that matters at that time. It's running back to God. And what does he say? You're forgiven. You're chosen. You're loved. That's very, very important.
Yes, Pastor.
Yeah. So, Tania, thank you so much for doing this with me. I think we covered a lot of ground in a very, very short span. But to all those who are watching us, we would say, I know, like I mentioned, we're just touching the tip of the iceberg, but we have so much more to talk about this. And if you ever feel like there's no place for you to have these conversations with, we want to welcome you, whether it's on the comments, whether it's on the chats, whether it's on any of our channels, on any of our social media platforms. Please reach out to us. And we believe that this, especially the coming generation, you guys are called for great things. And these small things that, that the enemy will try to distract you, to deviate you from, we want to give you the right information from God. Because he's created you and he calls you loved. And we want to give you so that you all will soar wherever you're in life. So thank you all for joining us. And until we meet again next month, God bless you all and see you.